Hello, darling witches. Are you ready to do a little bit of coloring? I know I certainly am. I'm actually really excited to start this new page. And then let's see here. Once I get Instagram going, I will, there we go. Go live. I'll show you what I finished. So if this is your first time joining, hi, I'm Amy Chesery, author and illustrator of Coloring Book of Shadows. And I'm going to be coloring in Moon Magic today. And these are instruction-free sessions where we just get together and chill out and enjoy the process of doing art as best we can without expectations or anything like that. And nobody's perfect, so sometimes you have bad days and you feel like your art sucks or whatever. But the point of this is more to just enjoy it and not worry about that. So I finished. Oh yeah, I wanted to address that. People ask me all the time if markers bleed through. Of course they bleed. So use them. Markers bleed by nature. So use them on single-sided books or just toast the back and don't care about that. And this is what the back side looks like. It's actually pretty cool. And always put paper underneath, like scrap paper, under the page you're coloring. And then just enjoy it. Have at it. So this is the last one. I think I finished this last week. And I absolutely love that page. And then this is the next page that I finished on my own to complement it. It's like a 2-page spread. And then the way I designed Moon Magic is the introduction has some 2-page spreads like this. And then the back sides have some really small illustrations. You can just not use them if you're using markers. And I did that by design, so you could have some of these 2-page spreads, which are fun to do without toasting the whole back. So I just put little illustrations on the back just in case, like you're using pencils, you could do the little illustrations. But anyway, these are instruction-free sessions. Hi, Bats. You need to chill out and do some art. Me too. Coloring is fun, so like let's not put pressure on ourselves, you know? And if you ruin a page, which I maybe have done, I've done some that aren't my favorite. Let's put it that way. But you know what? I learned a lot in those pages. So this is just a chill session, and sometimes it takes some messing up or a mess to learn. So anyway, instruction free, but sometimes I do explain what I'm doing, and feel free to ask questions if you have questions about using markers or whatever. Hi, Tina. You can't hear anything? I think other people can hear, but let me know if you can't. Yeah, feel free to ask questions. Sometimes I talk a lot. Sometimes I don't say anything if I'm just in a mood. But anyway, I'm going to do this moon page, and I wanted to use like purplish blues. So I just have 3 markers out right now. These purplish blues, they're Ohuhu markers. And I am using chisel and fine tip. I have a set that is chisel and fine tip. And I've been using brush tip, which I really like, but I thought I would try chisel and fine tip, mostly because I think fine tip will be great for some of the finer details on here. And then chisel apparently is good for large spaces. So thank you for joining. You can color along with me or just do your own thing. Color any book, any colors, whatever. It's just about relaxing. And I know a lot of people just watch me color and then don't color at all, which is fun too. I was telling someone I used to watch a ton of Bob Ross Joy of Painting without coloring along. So I certainly understand that. Sometimes it's just relaxing to watch other people do art. And that's great. Yeah, chisel tip is very different than brush tip. And I thought I hadn't used this set very much, so I thought I would just try it out. Hi, Tony. Oh, good. Tina can hear now. Yeah, and I thought this fine tip, I've been really going out of the lines lately, which is I'm actually cool with going out of the lines. It doesn't bother me. But the fine tip specializes in the smaller areas, like outlining small things. So I thought this would be a good choice for today. And I know a lot of people really like even markers, like with no streaks. And that's it is a nice look, and it's satisfying to watch. It's satisfying to do. But I'm going to take the pressure off myself, and I'm not going to go for that so much. If I get a little streaky, so what? I find too that doing a second layer is a great way. If it looks streaky, doing a second layer is just a great way to blend that in. Or just not worry about it. I think I've said in previous Thursday sessions that like I'm done worrying. Like I just washed my hands of worry and ritual this year, and it worked. I am been trying to kick it for a couple of years, like anxiety and worry and all that, and I'm at a place right now where I'm doing a lot better. I wish I could tell you exactly what I did, but I think it's a lot of little things. It's mindfulness. It's being in the present moment is huge. Because worry is, you're thinking about the future. You're worrying about it. Or worrying about the present, but I don't know. A lot of little things adding up to me kicking my worry habit. Feels really good. It's really, really freeing. In no ways perfect. Like I still feel the tendency pop up, and I know I will face worry again. That's just life, But something I've been working on, and something in ritual too. It's like been part of my magic is like trying to release that. It's like if there's one thing I'm trying to banish or release, it's been that. So such is life. Oh, cool. Good. You're giving me a thumbs down and a barf emoji. That's cool. It's so funny. I love it. Laura has also been working on releasing worry. Good job, Laura. So I thought I would use the fine tip for this, but I'm actually just using the corner of the chisel tip, and I'm kind of liking that. Preferring that to like recapping and going end to end, like switching between the fine and the chisel I did that like twice, and I had already had enough of it. It's already. Ashford said, it's a beautiful indigo tone. It sure is. I'm really enjoying just using this one color right now. It's quite beautiful. It's called Clematis, which is a flower. Oops, am I going off the camera? There we are. Okay. Yeah, it's hard to get it super even when you're doing little tiny spaces like this, but that's okay. It's quite satisfying actually to outline the letters. Then we'll see how it looks, and I can always even it out a little bit. The second layer, or maybe even a blender or a lighter color over top. We'll see how that goes. LB says me saying that sharing that I've kicked my worry habit is helping her to imprint, to kick yours. It's possible. I know. I wish, like, as I said, I wish I had like concrete steps on how to do it. But and having someone in your life that doesn't worry is so helpful. And I say that because my husband is not a worrier. He's been so helpful to me in that too. Like, I know he was probably getting tired of hearing it, but and reassuring me, but he was also very patient and very helpful. Like, I'd be like, Russell, I'm feeling it again. And he'd be like, to not worry, you just don't worry. Like, he would always say, like, do you have food for today? Are you alive today? Do you have, like, bringing me back to the present? Like, do we have our house today? And that's it. Like, and then our things, I mean, this is the morbid half of everything, but is everything gonna end? Yes. Is it all gonna go to shit? He always says that. He's kind of a realist. He's a punk, so he can be a little bit harsh sometimes, but he's like, it's all gonna turn to shit. Just enjoy it. Which maybe I didn't want to hear all the time, but it's kind of true. I think if anyone has parents or people reaching the end of life, it is sad but true. So, but that just makes it more, I don't know. Like, when it's weird. No, I'm just rambling about death, but when my cat died last year, I was so sad, but at the same time, it was like, it made me feel so alive. Like, the realization, it was like, whoa. My husband is a healthy teammate. He's definitely had his issues, as we all have, but he's so good right now. He's been my rock when I was worried. Okay, so I'm switching to this blue. We'll see how this goes. I'm a little worried about it. Worried, huh? So I don't know how this is going to turn out, I guess. Let's just put it that way instead of being worried. I feel like I need one shade lighter too to blend this in. But we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I don't know why the bark emoji. I think they didn't like my video. Maybe for stress, or maybe they just didn't like my video. I don't know. If you're still watching, can you explain that one? I thought it was funny, actually. But we all have different ways of expressing ourselves. I just run away. When I don't like something, I don't say it. I just run. I run as fast as I can in the other direction. I just whoop, I disappear. Never to be seen again. Get it out of my psyche as quickly as possible. Okay, a moment to think here. Let's see. Do I want to go? I want to go all blue. I was going to blend to a lighter color, but I have changed my mind. I'm going to just I'm gonna just go do Smurf style. Oh yeah, it's so, yeah, losing a familiar is super hard. But I have 3 new ones. How I dealt with that in this stage of my life is to just get a bunch more cats. And I know that's not always possible. I know someone who is older and they lost their cat and or don't feel like they're in a place to care for a new one, you know. And that's like that's a big loss and a different situation, you know. It's a different that's a different phase of life. But yeah, my dear Cornelius, that was hard. I miss that guy. He had he was a personality, you know? And I love the 3 little guys. I have 2 of them here right now. We have Toad and we have Hubie. And they all love me. Like, they all definitely love me. But I don't know, like, Cornelius was like staunchly, oh, he loved me. Like, just, he was my guy. These 3 little guys love me too, but another thing about these 3 little guys is there's 3 of them. 2 of them we adopted together and they were best friends. So they've had each other, you know, which is adorable. I absolutely love to see their relationships. And then we got Hubie. And, oh, sorry about that. Just bonked the camera. We got Hubie, and it took them a couple weeks to warm up to Hubie, but now the 3 little dudes are like, they're so cute together. Just to see their little relationships is really fun to me. Absolutely adorable. Yeah, so this is an interesting experience using the chisel tip. I think I prefer the brush, but this works too. Just different. This has its merits. Trying to take it a little slower on some of these small spots. Favorite Smurf? Asriel. Well, yes. I mean, technically, Asriel is not a Smurf. Asriel is a cat. But speaking of cats, my familiar 5 cats ago was Asriel. She was so sweet. I loved Azzy. Yeah, Asriel and Gargamel. Oh my God, those 2. What a pair. I can hear their voices and Asriel's meow. My favorite Smurf favorite character, yeah, totally Asriel. But Johan and Pee-wee, I loved Johan and Pee-wee. Do you remember them? They were the humans and the Smurfs. And then my favorite Smurf, probably Papa Smurf. So wise. And then he did alchemy. He was like always doing magic. Good times. I watched a lot of I watched a lot of Gummy Bears, Adventures of the Gummy Bears too. Speaking of magic, I feel like subconsciously a lot of my art is influenced by those 2 shows. Just like whimsical magic and that whole bit. This is kind of fun. Going all blue. Painter Smurf. So many Smurfs. So many great personalities. Yeah, I like Painter Smurf. Grumpy. What was his name? Grumpy Smurf? Was that his name? Grumpy, or was it something else? Angry Smurf. Whatever. I can't remember what his name was. I think it was Grumpy Smurf. No, Grumpy was definitely the dwarf. Vanity Smurf. He was hilarious. Always looking in the mirror. Kind of funny. I gotta say, this whole one color background thing really is relaxing. And I'll figure out the evenness later. If there's any little rough spots, assess that at a later time. Your kitties are batting the marker? Like, are they on your iPad or something, or on the TV? That's kind of the type of stroke that would drive a cat to want to hit it. I have my kitties trained not to get on my desk because that would be super annoying for me. They have pretty much free reign. There's a couple places we try to get them not to go. Like, obviously the stove, that's a dangerous for them. And then we have a nice wood dining table that we don't want them on. And they do pretty good with that. And then my desk, and then the human food counter. They have like free reign of the center island in the kitchen, but we don't like do a lot of food prep there. We try to keep them off the what I call the human food counter. Yeah, so I got a little streakiness to clear up here, but not too much. Better than I thought, actually, with the amount of detail that I'm going into. Speaking of details, I haven't been adding too many extra details past the general markers on these pages, but been thinking about it. So there's a lot I could do with like a white paint pen or metallics or like colored pencils even to add detail once you do the marker base. So I've been thinking about doing like a whole session on that, like next week, do the, or one of these weeks, like spend the whole 20 minutes doing details, which sounds kind of fun, but I haven't done it yet. Just been getting into the feel of using the markers on their own since I only got back into markers for a couple weeks. Maybe a month now. How long's it been? Maybe a month. Yeah, these bigger spaces are pretty satisfying to color in with markers. A lot easier anyway. Okay. So blending in some of this. And then I have to do inside this little wheel here. And then I might use a lighter color to clean it up. We'll have to see here. I have to do this part inside the little gear. And I think that'll be it today. I'm working on the 2026 planner. So I gotta get back into that. All right. So blending this. Once it dries too, it's like keep fussing with it is fine, but once the ink dries, it evens out a lot. So it's like you don't want to fuss too much with it. It's gonna just kind of even itself out once it dries. But there were definitely some light spots there. And then I think I could get a super light blue. Like I feel like if I get this blue gray 3 PG03, let's see. Let's try it. Or the colorless blender. I'm not liking the colorless blender so much on dark colors. I feel like that's best when you're going out to white. But I'm kind of liking like getting a really light color to help blend it in. So this is a super light blue. And if you add a second layer of like your darkest color, it just really darkens it. But I think getting like a lighter color to blend in kind of works. It helps. So that I actually like that under the letters. And then my darkest blue, I think that came out kind of nice. So my darkest blue, I thought it was kind of uneven, but it's actually not too bad. It actually looks pretty good. The secrets of moon magic. That's it for today. So yeah, so I'm gonna keep going. I don't know. I was gonna do only blues on this page, but I'm not sure how I'm gonna color the rest. Maybe just blues. The blues kind of working for me here. But I will keep going on it next week. And if I don't wait till Thursday, I'll do it live and post a recording of what I do. So thanks for coloring with me today. I hope you had a great time. I'll see you next Thursday. And if I do any other live sessions unscheduled, they'll be posted so you can catch up. All right.